you're finding.
Right. So originally, the farm, when my parents bought it, was 60 acres in size, mainly a combination of grapes and tree fruit at that time. Around the early 80s is when free trade came through for Ontario and in Canada. And there really wasn't a need for the older Labrusca and juice grapes that we were growing because they could find some cheaper stuff in the States. So at that time, they sort of had a quandary as to what they were going to do. And what they finally decided was that they would talk to some local wineries, some local tree fruit buyers, and see what would be best for them. And luckily ran into Carl Kaiser, who was the winemaker at Inniskillen, along with Don Zeraldo, who was the proprietor, and Debbie Pratt at the time as well, who was my grade 3 teacher, by the way. So that was a good relationship we had forged, and Carl came to our property and looked at the land outside the barn here, which is it's like a clay loam soil, which is, I guess, similar to Burgundy, with sort of underlying limestone a few feet below the soil. So he figured it would be a good place to grow Pinot, and asked us if we would do him a favor and plant 5 trial rows of Pinot. And so we said, we got nothing to lose. It's, land that's really not going to be used for anything at this time. So we decided that would be a good route for us to go. And we still have those vines. And to this day, I think my most complex and concentrated wines come from the fruit from those original 5 rows, our Pinot Noir that we vinify. So I think it's why we called our winery 5 rows. A couple other reasons that are tied into that is that the farm has been in our family for 5 generations, and that also of each variety, each wine that we make, we only make about 100 or so cases, and that equates to about a couple of rows of each variety. So it gives you the idea that each wine is only a small portion of what we actually grow. The rest of the fruit is still sold to other wineries, which points out the fact that we are still grape growers first and foremost, who've started a winery and only make very small amounts of what we hope to be premium quality wine. So.
And how long have you been open?
We opened the winery in 2007. We had made wine for a couple of years before that. So the reds that we started out with were 2004 and 2005 vintage. So we had some nice aged reds to release when we first started. So usually that's sort of the pattern we've followed since then, that we age our reds about 2 full years in barrel, and then the whites will release usually the year after production. So what you see here, and we finally have a full barn of wine, finished product, we just bottled not too long ago. So we do all of our 2012 whites along with our 2010 reds are what we've got in bottle at this time. So we're all fully stocked for the rush of summertime orders and visitors we expect coming. It's actually, this past weekend was fairly busy, so.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.